Well, that thing where he like kicks back and he gets a little chunk of health back.
Oh yeah.
I used the shit out of that.
Always, there's stuff that I always forget to do, and I'm like, oh yeah, I should do that now.
I already feel the disappointment in that how sad I'm going to be when I beat this thing. I can say, like I can already see the end of it and be like, wow, like it's over, and I want to play like the same length of time of what I just played again with that game.
Oh yeah.
It should just be an ongoing game.
This week's episode is brought to you by Blockhead Printing. For all your custom, nerdy shirt printing, cons, parties, or gaming clubs, this is a full-service, badass screen printing company. Check out blockheadprinting.com.
Welcome to Comically Gaming, episode 105, the weekly talk show in which we discuss our obsessions and the week's news around them. A games, comics, and culture production. Catch new episodes every Tuesday, and please consider supporting us at patreon.com/GCandC. You can help us improve all our content for as little as $1 per month.
This week in Comically Gaming, Obi-Wan spin-off news, Pokemon Switch leak, Deadpool 2's opening weekend, Lord of the Rings TV show details, new Neverwinter content, and No Man's Sky's next big update.
And we go full spoilers on Deadpool 2.
Deadpool 2!
DP2.
DP2!
Alright, what's up, guys?
What's up?
What up? Ooh, no
How's it going?
weekend. Yay.
Another No Nate show. Get used to
Start
it, Nate.
smoking cigarettes and hanging out, doing bad stuff.
We're just going to play it on.
Hope you guys like us, because Nate's going to be missing a few episodes this month. He's got a lot of summer plans, so
Making it happen.
3 of us for a few episodes. But
Yeah.
the show must go on.
And we've trimmed
Always
the
for the
fat.
show.
Trimmed the
I'd
fat.
sacrifice my children for this show.
Would you
You
sacrifice
see, all my
Tony?
children, I'll sacrifice.
No.
No.
Oh. All right. Well, how's your week, Corey?
What's up, Corey? How's your week?
It's good. What did I do? Well, I saw Deadpool. Going full spoilers.
Nice.
I loved
At
it.
the end of the show. You're
Yeah.
not going to go full spoilers.
Yeah, not right now. End of the show, going full spoilers. Give it 2 thumbs up, though. Great.
Domino was
Great.
awesome.
Great stuff. Domino was awesome.
Zazie
Everybody
Beetz.
was awesome. Yeah. So yeah, I saw that on opening night on Thursday. It's a great time. Saw it with my buddy from work. I read, caught up on 2 and 1, so I'm up to issue
nice.
5 on that. So,
Nice.
yeah, that's getting pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Can you talk about what happened in that without giving away spoilers? I can't remember.
I mean, they're like the Johnny and the Thing finally traveled.
All right.
Yeah.
I think I remember. Yes.
And
Yeah.
there's
I do.
like
I totally
it's like
remember. Yep.
giant.
I read it. I just read it a long time ago. Didn't it come out a long time ago?
No.
Number 5. I don't know. It's the most recent. I mean, less than a month ago.
Yeah.
It's the most recent issue, so I'm not sure. I read Gideon Falls number 3.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that was
Read
awesome. I read Venom number 1. That was
Awesome.
that was awesome too.
Awesome.
I really like it.
I loved it. I love Donny Cates, man.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird. I see what Jeff was saying. I mean, it's definitely a different take on Venom, or like almost a new backstory to him or origin.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I like it so far. I mean, I never really knew that. I've always known about the the Venom symbiote and like who it controls, like those, like, but I never knew where it actually came from. So I'm down with the backstory to the actual symbiote, whatever.
Yeah.
And
symbiote, like the movie said.
Symbiote.
I think I read something else. Oh, Domino number 2.
Yes.
Yeah, that's still good for sure.
I'm digging that for sure.
Yeah, I like that. I like her, especially after I read it right after I saw Deadpool. I was like, I need more Domino. So
it's just a fun book.
Yeah,
you know, I just think it's like it's got action in it, but it's like it's a little different. I think Gail Simone's the writer on that.
Yeah.
It's awesome, man. I totally dig it.
Yeah, it's great. And then I think that's all I read. Watched all the usual anime. Watched Legion. Watched Fear the Walking Dead. Great. And I beat video games. I beat Beyond Two Souls.
Oh wow!
Wow!
That didn't take you very long.
Nah, it only took a few days. And that was I give it a 7.7.
Oh wow!
I really liked parts of it. Like it definitely, it's the game that came after Heavy Rain, which had the R2 to move forward, left stick to move around the room. So it got rid of that. So so that was great. The story was really awesome. It had great moments. Just the whole controlling her and controlling her entity is really cool, and the just all the different environments were cool, the characters were cool, but I really hope it's all about fucking QuickTime events. Like I said last time, that's what brings my score down. Like it would be 8.5 if it wasn't for the fucking QuickTime events. But I mean, it's like a key character died at the end, like, and it was because all of a sudden X flashed on the screen. I started pressing X, and it just goes red. Like I missed it, and even though I fucking didn't, and then he died because of that.
That's
and I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? And it's like, and it's a game that doesn't have save points or like load points, so I would have had to have redone the whole chapter. And I didn't want him to die. I didn't choose for him to die. And I even pressed the fucking button that popped up. And like for that big of a story, thing to change because I fucked up on pressing the button, like that's just stupid. What's the fucking point of that? Like,
QuickTime shouldn't direct the game.
Yeah, exactly. Like, so I don't know. I hope Detroit doesn't have that or does it in a different way or something. But it was just so. It really pissed me off. But other than that, the game was awesome. So it's hard. It's hard. I don't know what they would do instead of QuickTime events. Like, it's because it's all those story games, all the Telltale games use QuickTime events and stuff, and like so. They need to figure something else out though, because it sucks. But so great story, great characters and everything, but just the gameplay mechanics were still stupid. They got rid of the walking, but they just QuickTime events are bullshit. and then I started playing Dishonored 2. I just finished streaming that, and I'm definitely digging that. I'm just over halfway through it, so it's a good time for sure.
It's so hard to me, that game.
Yeah.
It's because of the nature of it, like the waiting. The creeping games are hard for me. I'm just gonna rage.
Like I can't play it for too. I'll play like an hour a night. That's why it's only like I think like a 12-hour game, and I've been playing it for almost 5 days or something now. It shouldn't take me that long. I just can't play it for too long because there's super stealth, just whatever. But that's it. That's my week.
Wow.
Yeah.
Cool.
Short week.
I'm gonna have a short week too. I'm
me
sure. Let's see. I mean, I guess most of my week has been God of War. I'm at that point where, even when like I start to think like, this game's it's great and all. Something happens and I'm like, oh my god, it's the best. Like I go between moments and then I'm like, and then I get to these moments in there where I could just play. Like, I wished it was just, like, the only game, and I could just play it.
Yeah.
Like, constantly.
Yeah.
There's just so much lore in there, and, just gorgeous and fluid. The game has just natural fluidity that going through it that is just almost breathtaking to experience,
One of those games, like, unlike Dishonored, I could play that for 14 hours from when I woke up till I went to bed.
Absolutely.
I don't want to set it down, just want to keep playing the whole time.
As much as I love Celeste, the nature of the game is like you have to leave Celeste.
Right.
Yeah, you get too pissed off.
You have to. Well, you'll also you'll actually get worse as you play.
Yeah, you get stuck and you need to give yourself a break and come back to it.
Whereas God of War is the opposite. You just want to
explore everywhere.
Exactly, just lose yourself in it completely.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's pretty much all I did game-wise. I've been reading a lot of D&D stuff. I think I watched 5 WebDM videos tonight.
Wow.
There's just so much, and then I ordered Mordenkainen, so I think it's going to come in while I'm out of town, though, next weekend. But I'm excited. The stuff I've been hearing about it. I mean, I read the races, the new sub-races, and they have Sea Elf and Eladrin and all that. Like, Duergar, I think, is featured in there.
Yeah, I saw that.
Playable?
Yeah,
playable.
Really?
Dark
the Dark Dwarves?
Yeah. It's awesome.
That'll come in handy.
No, Jeff, I'm telling you, if we play that, whenever we hand off, I'm absolutely going to make a Duergar if I can.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
The more Underdark characters we have as PCs, the better.
Yeah, I figured if it's going to be in that setting, you probably need that advantage.
Except I want to play like a Driss type character.
Well, yeah,
Driss. What would be interesting is a Driss, like a Duergar version of a Driss. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like somebody who's like heroic, sort of cuts against the grain, but instead of being the elf, being the dwarf. That'd be awesome.
Well, I wouldn't mind allowing evil characters either, if you want.
Oh, wow.
It'll make it more interesting, I think.
There's some videos out there for evil campaigns because they definitely didn't allow that in 2E. Really, they didn't give you ideas for that. But there's so much playable stuff in 5E that you can easily have an evil campaign.
I'd just be afraid if we had a mix, our party would end up killing each other.
Not necessarily. Evil doesn't mean you're gonna just kill everybody. Evil, the way that they've been writing the evil alignments, from what I've read so far, is you're using a party as a means to an end.
Yes.
You're not out to slit each other's throat. Although some,
you wouldn't think twice about killing a party member if it was...
Maybe not.
It depends. It depends on how you play it. But
also, I mean, there's a few options. You could be a group of mercenaries that are on a focused task that you have to complete and take out these heroes, which would be totally awesome. Or you could be in service of a god or something, and you have to work together. Yep. But
like a family of dark elves, like in the books. I mean, they're all evil, but
if you were drow, then you would probably try to kill each other.
In a way, but
they don't. They will if for
there's
families. At least with Drist, I mean, there's families of drow that in general, don't kill each other in the family, but every once in a while, one will if they want to come up in power, which I feel like could happen in our party. Like,
that's it.
We might be working together, but then one person might be like, you know what?
That would be cool to play.
See,
you'd have to be watching your back though.
It'd be more in line. It'd be more in line of, say, more Game of Thrones. It really is. Right. You look at how Game of Thrones and the houses fight, and some of the,
absolutely.
You know, the Lannisters are more of
well, Ned Stark.
Lawful. They're lawful evil. Ned Stark is more lawful good.
Absolutely, but I'm saying, like, he wasn't meant for that world, you know?
No, he wasn't. No.
So,
Cersei Lannister, she's just evil.
There would be a lot of whispering if you played in an evil campaign. I'll put that that way.
Yeah, it'd be fun. I'll work on it and research it more.
But pretty much this week was devoted to comics. I read a ton of comics. I think I'm almost done with Snagglepuss. I finished number 5. Still crazy with the whole Red Scare stuff. It's nuts. Deadpool 300, which was awesome.
I heard it was really good.
Yeah, it was really good. Really good. Domino 2. Maestro 6 was great. And I think that series is ending. Because I think they said the next issue is the final one. So I think it's capped at 7, which sucks because that book is totally awesome.
I think The Realm is ending because I haven't seen anything.
Really?
In a while. I haven't seen.
Well, the thing with Image, though. Yeah, I think with Image they just space out. They don't have a regular schedule.
Oh.
Yeah, so sometimes it'll be 2 months before you see a book.
Well,
you know, side will take months off.
Yeah.
But BKV does a lot of shit though. So.
Yeah, it does. I read Eternity Girl. I know I recommended that to you, Corey, but then I read 3 and I was like, wah, wah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was like, well, it'll probably get good again. I'm hoping, but I like that line. I think is Young Animals is the DC imprint that it's printed under. It's Gerard Way, I think, is the editor on it. The guy that was in My Chemical Romance or whatever.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he started a comic imprint. But then I read Quicksilver 1, which was awesome, just out of nowhere. Saladin Ahmed wrote a Quicksilver book. Read Gideon Falls 3, and then my book of the week was Mighty Thor at the Gates of Valhalla.
Oh, nice.
Which is Jason Aaron. So they ended the Mighty Thor with Jane, and this was his little one-off that he had before the next Thor book starts. And I guess that the Thor bad guys, like the Dark Elf, I forgot his name, is going to be like a major villain coming up in the Marvel universe. I guess those wars.
Was it start of the M or something?
Malekith.
Yeah.
Malekith. Yeah, I think he's going to
spill
out. No.
He's like, Thor's fought him a lot.
Yeah. I think it's going to start spilling out into like Earth and getting a lot of other people that aren't normally involved in that Thor universe. Like, and I think it looks like it's setting up to be awesome, man. I'm totally pumped. But that one-off was great. It's about the granddaughters of Thor coming back from the future.
Oh, wow.
He has 3 granddaughters, and they come to do some stuff in modern times. I don't want to spoil anything, but if you can get that one book, do it. It's
just a one book thing?
It's just a one-off. It's like a little pit stop in between. But it sets up everything nicely, and the 3 daughters are fucking badass. Our granddaughters, yeah.
Definitely have to read that.
And that's my week.
Wow.
What you got, Jeff? Pass the ball.
Oh, see, I didn't read any comics this week. I've been stuck in discussion boards with online school, so that was my reading for the week. But I did go see Deadpool 2. It was good. It wasn't. I don't think it was great, but we'll talk more about it at the end of the show and the spoilers.
There you go, setting it up.
It sets it up.
Teaser.
It's
We're all entitled to our own opinion.
it's Deadpool, but in the same sense, I think Kevin said this last week that it's a comedy sequel, and comedy sequels have a hard time.
Let me ask you this,
just
Jeff.
as good. What?
Is it better than or less than the first one?
I think it's less.
Or about the same?
Because the story isn't as strong as it was in the first one. And then,
are you familiar with those characters, Cable?
a little bit. I'm not that strong with that. With them, but
I mean, I will agree that the story wasn't that solid.
yeah, and I think that's what killed it for me was the story, and I felt some of the humor was very trite.
I really didn't give a shit that the story wasn't that great. It was just so great. I thought it was way better than the first one.
Oh, really? No,
we'll talk about it later.
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
Save it.
So, and then I went to the Minneapolis Comic Book Comic-Con this weekend, and I got some new wall art. I do want to give a shout-out to Aunt Lucia. He does Star Wars posters, but with the World War II kind of propaganda poster flair. And so I'm gonna rearrange my back wall and have those two. One's back there right now.
Okay, that's what I thought that was when you sent the picture. I couldn't really tell. I thought it was like something you already had with military pinup girls or something. But then I was like, that looks like Leia.
It is Leia.
It really is Leia.
Oh, that's awesome.
Leia. And Leia's on this one, like sitting on guns, sort of like in World War II. They draw pinup girls sitting on the guns they'd have pinup girls sitting on the turrets and stuff for battleships, and then on the backside is Leia, saying strike back, join a rebellion and fight, and so it's really cool. I loved it, and I talked to him, and then I talked to another artist. His name is Jim Mensling, and he has I have the Punisher, Arrow, and Black Panther, but he had so many, and I just loved his art style.
I like
it's
those.
more silhouetted and it's not a lot of detail.
That's awesome.
And then I found this little gem.
Oh, I can't believe you got that.
Drow of the Underdark, $10, and I was looking it up, and in brand new, if you can find it brand new, it's like $50.
Yeah, I got a PDF version of it. And when I read through just the first chapter, it was awesome.
Yeah, there's so much.
Totally awesome.
And
you learn about their culture and everything. The houses and all that stuff.
Well, it went crazy because it was filling in, taking what R.A. Salvatore had written with Driz for so many years before that. And I think second edition is when they made those legendary characters as character sheets. They converted them over.
That's crazy.
Driz at that time, his THAC0 was -4. I was like, damn.
That's awesome.
-4. I played some Celeste. I got through chapter 2, and like Dirk said, I can take it in pieces. My hand starts to hurt.
Yeah.
And I died a lot. I think I died like 212 times or some craziness on just one chapter. Yeah. And it's but it's funny how fast you pick up the muscle memory to get through the puzzles.
Dude, it's so crazy. There are some moments, I swear to God, the hardest parts, I wasn't even thinking.
Yeah. Right, yeah, your hands just moved on their own.
I wasn't conscious. It just went through, and I was like, whoa!
Yeah.
And then I've played more Breath of the Wild on the Switch. I got to kick the 5-year-old off because he beat Kirby All-Stars. I'll give him credit because he played through the whole game. I did the final boss.
He couldn't beat the final boss? Or what?
It was long. It was a long boss battle. I was surprised and he didn't have that coordination because he doesn't understand to dodge and not take damage.
He's 5, man.
He's 5, crazy. So
right.
I mean, but he played through the whole game by himself.
That's crazy.
He tried for an hour on the final boss, and I finally stopped and helped him.
You're like, let Dad beat the boss.
Let Dad.
Okay.
So
Did he ask for help, or were you like, let me
he
do
did. He did. He was getting frustrated. And sort of looked like Corey when Corey was talking about playing
Quick time
heavy rain.
events?
Yeah, quick time events. Getting all pissed
Yeah.
off.
Oh! X!
And then I started picking up watching Arrow again on Netflix. I'm still in season 3. It's not that bad. It really isn't that bad. I heard that season is decent, then the next couple ones are kind of slow.
Yeah, I think season 3 is the last one I watched.
Arrowverse.
I mean, Felicity keeps getting me back.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. As long as they don't do any more Flash crossover shows, I'm happy, because the Flash annoys the shit out of me, and the Flash's crew annoys the shit out of me, and I think it should be good.
Yeah, Arrow's decent. It's worth watching.
It's worth watching. It's better than some. I'm still.
No Legion.
I have to pay for it. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. I'm like, I said this. I'll watch Legion if Nate, since he's not here, if he watched all 7 seasons of the Gilmore Girls, I would buy Legion and watch it.
We're gonna get it for you. We're already, we're putting it together.
Well, I already have all 7 seasons of Gilmore Girls on DVD.
You shouldn't admit that.
Smell it to him. Don't even say anything.
Yeah. But I think other than that, just I didn't do much, and work cranked up to 11 this week. So I'm like, I worked until 11 o'clock on Tuesday, and then I was it was pretty bad. So that is my week.
Sweet.
Nice. Good weeks. Who's the week?
Who's of the week?
Who's the week, guys? So we had a 3-way tie for number 4 this week. So we got 6 items. So tied for number 4. First off, there's some Star Wars spin-off, Obi-Wan spin-off news. Director working title revealed.
Yeah, it's
So Stephen Daldry.
Isn't it just Obi-Wan? Obi-Wan.
I think they would. It's a working title.
A Star Wars story.
I think they just have the working title. I think Kenobi would be cool. I think Kenobi would be better than Obi-Wan.
Or just Ben.
Yeah.
Nah, Ben.
Old Ben.
Old Ben. If they can get Ewan McGregor to do it, I think that'd be the best. But
I'm interested.
Yeah, it'd be cool because they're trying to do a direct prequel to The New Hope.
He said he was interested, so I'd be
down with it. I'd be more down. Honestly, I'd be more down with an Obi-Wan story than I would just a Lando Calrissian story.
I find it surprising that they didn't go with Obi-Wan over Solo first.
I'm not. Solo,
really?
Yeah. So Obi-Wan was originally only one movie and died halfway through New Hope. So.
Well, yeah.
And you could almost look at, you see
there
a
is
little
the Chewie thing.
There is a Chewie thing, but
yeah.
I think an Obi-Wan story would be more welcomed than a Lando movie.
Yeah.
Just because Lando is a very small side character, and we haven't seen Solo yet, so we don't know.
Right.
But I don't want to jump on that hype train just yet.
Right.
Apparently, Chewbacca was at the Cavs Celtics game.
Oh, wow.
See that? He was courtside.
So, direct prequel. So, does that mean it's going to be him watching over Luke? Is basically like the comics?
That's how I see it, yeah. If they're trying to do a direct prequel to New Hope, then... So I wonder if they tie it in... If they do that, if they could do the timeline right up till maybe Ben feels what's going on with the Rogue One story. Maybe he knows something. I don't know. That'd be cool.
Yeah, we'll see.
Cool.
All right, second item of number 4. This big Pokemon Switch leak. I guess I'll just talk about this because I know you guys don't care about Pokemon.
I don't.
But I do.
I do.
It's supposedly there's a bunch of shit that came out. Like, first off, there are 2 like web domains were bought called like Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Pokemon Let's Go Eevee.
Okay.
And so the whole Let's Go thing of people are saying that they're going to somehow tie the next title into Pokemon Go, which would kind of make sense with how crazy popular Pokemon Go is. But so that could go either way for me. There's a lot of shitty stuff about Pokemon Go. Like, it's the battles suck, and like I think somebody said it was gonna have like similar battles possibly, and the battles are not good in Pokemon Go.
No, they're
so I hope that's not the case. But I mean, it would be cool if like you just got bonus stuff in the game from doing stuff from Pokemon Go. Like if as long as it didn't like tie directly into it and make huge changes. Like if I have to spin my Switch screen and throw the ball, like I'm gonna be pissed. But if I just get extra items or stuff from stuff that I do while I'm out playing Pokemon Go into the game, then that's a cool feature or something like that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, feeds it.
so,
I have a question about Go. So is it like a big time killer? Is it something that's good to have just to kind of play, or do you have to spend a lot of focus on it when you're out?
You could do it either way. I mean, it's the way I do it is, I mean, you don't really have to. I mean, the thing is, you kind of have to. It depends what you're doing. Like if you're trying to catch a bunch of Pokemon, then you're kind of focused on it because every time one pops up, you got to catch it. Or you could just go out and go. If you know where the gyms are around town, you could just stop by those and battle the gym. Like if you're already out, it all depends. You can spend a little time on it or a lot of time on it. It just, totally depends how you play it. I just like it to. It's a reason to get outside, and if I'm already have to walk somewhere, it's a cool way to actually like do something while I'm walking, and it makes a boring walk more exciting because I can like play a little video game.
I feel self-conscious walking around like an idiot with my phone.
Well, people do that anyway.
That's the thing. Everybody walks around with their phone anyway, so nobody really knows what you're doing. That's
true. I've been trying to make a habit of not doing it, so maybe it's bad.
I don't look at my phone when I'm walking, and when I'm driving, my phone is in my pocket. I guess.
Nobody's died yet from Pokemon Go.
Oh, they have. They've walked in this shit.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, they've walked into
I don't know if they've
manholes
died, but people have walked off cliffs and shit. But you can play discreetly. But,
I haven't thought about it.
I mean, yeah. So, and then what else did the leak? I don't know. Pokemon Let's Go.
Let's go. Sounds like a Prince song.
See. And supposedly it's supposed to be like a remake of Pokemon Yellow, which would be weird if it's the next main core game, because a remake shouldn't be the next main game. So I don't know. It's all rumors and leaks, but they seem to be like verified, and everybody's acting like they're legit. So third part of number 4. It's little Deadpool 2 news. It's the first movie to take Avengers out of number 1 for the weekend. So
that was bound to happen.
It was bound to happen, and it failed to surpass Deadpool 1. So not really surprising news. We knew Avengers would be passed eventually, and usually sequels don't do quite as well as the first movie because everybody goes to see the first one. If you weren't a huge fan, then you probably won't see the second one.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I think the reason why is because of the huge success of the first one and how it's different from the rest of the MCU because it is owned by Fox, and I think that's what got it more pull. But Infinity War is a lot better movie overall than Deadpool 2.
It's your opinion. I thought Deadpool 2 was. I thought it was probably the best superhero movie of all time.
Oh my gosh,
that is heavy. I'm marking that down.
I loved it. I mean, I couldn't. We're not going spoilers yet, but I honestly, I'm sitting there and I couldn't stop smiling just watching it. It just gave me such a great fucking feeling. I was like, this is fucking awesome. Like I hadn't had that in the theater in a long time where I was just like sitting there and
it's entertaining.
Awesome. It's like,
yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Save it.
Dirk, go see it so you can help me.
All right.
Number three.
The
Lord of the Ring TV show is apparently going to focus on Aragorn.
Aragorn.
I'm a little disappointed in that.
Yeah, Strider wasn't that big. I mean,
look, we've treaded there already. I know it's him younger. That's, sort of uncovered territory, but that world is so massive. Why not go in a different direction? I want to see a fucking show about hobbits, to be honest.
I want to see a show about Gandalf.
So don't hate me, but
young Gandalf.
Aragorn, he's the ranger. They call him Strider.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
I didn't want to say it to you wrong.
Yeah, or even then you'll have a bunch of Lord of the Ring nerds coming after you, Corey.
What about Legolas?
Isn't he the most popular though?
He's the center of the. Yeah, I mean, he's the center of the story, arguably.
Yeah. On the human side.
Well, right, but the king.
Yeah. Well, the King of Gondor. Yeah.
But Legolas would be an awesome character for a main series.
That would be Legolas and Gimli. Is that his fucking the dwarf?
Yeah. There's just so many.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's so many other directions they could have gone. I guess they went with this. I don't know if this is them trying to be more Game of Thrones-ish, but I don't know.
I hope they don't go that way because it's not Game of Thrones.
Right. It's just not.
Almost just these spin-off shows wouldn't even focus on any of the main characters and would just be in the same universe. Like with the Star Wars shows too. Like I want it to be in the Star Wars universe, but a whole new story about somebody else.
Especially something that big. I mean, you have all this unexplored territory. Why would you not use it?
No, because everyone wants to go to fucking Mordor. I don't know why. It's not a vacation spot.
Right.
A giant eye watching you.
Number 2. Ravenloft.
Yes.
So excited.
To Neverwinter.
I'm so pumped. I'll tell you why I'm pumped about it. June 26th.
You got to get 70.
Yeah. Well, is it? Is that for sure?
Yeah.
Is it on PS4? I heard it was coming to PC.
I'm sure it's
a later
PC
date confirmed for PS4.
That's fine. Because that gives us time to hit 70. I'm at 34, so we got time.
Yeah, that 70 thing's the only hitter. I mean, how much time does it take to get to 70? Because if that's
a lot.
50 hours, I don't really want to spend that much time.
I'd say it's 50 hours, but I mean, honestly, you can look at. I mean, I've seen people that you just grind in spurts, and you get to 70. And I just want to be able to walk through Ravenloft just because we're going through Strahd, and it'll be
Think about this: all those characters that you've met in the adventure are probably going to be in that game.
Yes,
a good chunk of them.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
that's what I want too. I really want to go there and see it from at least their depiction of it and stuff would be awesome.
We may have finally confronted Strahd in our adventure by the time this gets released.
Yeah.
That's a big maybe.
Well, probably not June, but maybe for the PS4 release.
Yeah, for the
Yeah.
PS4 release, yeah.
So,
Well, look, once you actually get to Castle Ravenloft, if you guys get there, that's like the halfway point. I mean, that castle is so massive.
That's
Right.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's great. I know.
so
I
Hopefully
think it'd be
we-
cool.
I'm pumped.
I think it'd be cool too.
I wanted to.
I just, if I have to be level 70, I don't know how feasible that is.
Right.
That's the only drawback.
just grind in spurts.
Yeah, that's true.
Because you
Oh,
get
we have a
rest-
new member. You
we-
saw that?
I
My
did.
friend-
I didn't see him request, but I think he has to. I'll work on it. I'll ping him.
Yeah, it's my friend Tiny. He wants to be
Um,
member of
Yeah, sure.
You
Yeah.
should be able to do it. You're a guild leader. I was checking the guild last night because I was playing Neverwinter last night.
Yeah, I made everybody a guild leader.
I did.
Okay, sweet.
Just
Yeah.
just because it's a lot better guild management in that game for free than a $60 game called Monster Hunter World.
Sure. Guild sucks.
Sweet.
That's why I didn't get a 10 from me because of that shit.
Yeah.
Number one though.
Number one.
I didn't realize. Do you guys both have?
I have No
there's
Man's Sky.
No Man's Sky. Next
Yeah.
update adds multiplayer. So
Finally.
Finally. I don't know you guys, because I don't think we've ever talked in depth about No Man's Sky, or if you did, maybe I wasn't here or something. But
I think me and Nate did back before you guys were on the show, but I think it was
Hey.
pre-show.
I strangely really like that game. I know it got slammed for
I
not
liked
being
it too.
what.
I liked
There's
it.
There's something I can't even pinpoint what it is about it. It just has a very unique feel to it. You know, it's like the idea of just exploring is so awesome. I like being able to jump between planets and checking out new scenery and doing it endlessly, virtually endlessly. You know, it's
Right.
awesome.
Yeah, and so it is awesome, but it just gets boring by yourself after a while.
Yes.
And what they're saying is that it's gonna be, we're gonna be able to explore together, build bases together. They're gonna say they're saying it's gonna be kind of like Sea of Thieves, where there's PvP, like you'll encounter random people in the world, and they can be cool, but chances are they are probably going to try and raid you and take your shit. So you want to build up your base. Like, we could all build a giant settlement together and have to defend it, and and try and befriend people, and it could make it really, really awesome.
Tear the lid off. Yeah.
So we could basically plant the Midnight Master's flag across the galaxy.
Yep.
Dude, I would be so in on if it plays out as
if it's as good as they're saying.
Yes.
I mean,
then I'm so freaking in.
Yeah.
That was the problem with the game in the first place, is it had a lot of false expectations. So
Yes.
try and take this all with a grain of salt. But if all they're saying is true, it sounds fucking amazing.
It would be awesome. I love it. Definitely wasn't an easy game just to pick up. It had a good learning curve to it, and you're like, oh, wow.
Yeah.
You really felt like you were alone and trapped on something. You're like, I have no idea what I'm supposed to do.
Yep.
Is it just me, or did Destiny 2 sort of pick up on those colors and stuff in there?
I think so.
The landscapes and whatnot.
Yeah.
Writer. Yeah. That's what I liked, about just all the colors and stuff and how weird the creatures looked, and
Yes.
just everything. You'd go down to a cave and it'd be full of bright crystals and cool.
That's awesome.
And you get fucking lost as shit.
Yeah, and then you get lost for an hour.
Right.
Alright.
That's awesome.
So hopefully it's sweet. And that's
That'd
it.
be
That's
awesome.
your news of the week.
News of the week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Woo.
Now's that time.
All right, community corner. So this is the part where we put out a question to our community, and this past week we asked, what Marvel book character would you like to see covered in the MCU? And
Yeah.
it generated
Yeah,
a lot of talk.
Yep.
Xee said that Nightmare is a main villain versus Doctor Strange, Ghost Rider, Sleepwalker crossover movie.
Absolutely.
Or Morbius versus Spider-Man movie.
Yep. With the black suit.
That'd be sweet.
That
Bill
would be
said
sweet.
original Defenders, and Jeremy responded with, "Well, that's a long shot." And Dirk's like, "Yep, pretty much, amen to that." And Matt Mega
The character long shot. It's
Yeah.
a character from X-Men.
Oh,
Long shot.
Okay.
Yeah.
wow, the way I read it did not.
Not a long shot. It's long shot.
Matt Mega C said that he agreed with it and would be open to a whole new world with Mojo.
Mojoverse. Yep.
And then Dirk came back. Damon Hellstrom, aka Hellstorm. The Warren Ellis years be Alice Run, otherwise be disastrous. Ghost Rider, Punisher, Spider-Man team up versus Hobgoblin, X Factor, or versus Hobgoblin.
Versus Demon Hobgoblin. Yeah.
And then
That's a real storyline.
X Factor with a Real Weapon X film. And Havoc, Polaris, Guido, Wolfsbane, Multi-Man.
Multiple man. Yeah. That's the X Factor team from like the early 90s.
Francisco said if Disney Marvel does acquire Fox and capitalizes on Wolverine's popularity, I'd like them to do Wolverine properly. That Chris Claremont, Frank Miller limited series is probably my most memorable Wolverine story.
Totally. Yeah, that and the Larry Hama stuff is fantastic. I'm telling you, that period of Wolverine in the book is so different than he's ever been presented, like in film. I think the closest that got to it was Logan, but it's very adult-oriented material from a Marvel book.
And since Nate's not here tonight, he said he really wished the Netflix crew would be given the full feature treatment, and of course the X-Men is the only correct answer to this question. But since both of those properties are officially in other hands, I'll go with Moon Knight.
Moon Knight's a great suggestion. Yeah.
I'll add something and amend Nate's
What you think, Corey?
comment. Since Nate posted that, we talked on the phone, and he may take that back because after seeing Deadpool, we're not thinking maybe Disney shouldn't buy this because we want to see more Deadpool and we want to see the X-Force movie and all this shit get made.
Yeah,
and I'm afraid the Disney deal will kill that.
It would. Disney would definitely not allow our ratings like with Deadpool. It wouldn't be the same. Francisco said one thing I might be more nerdy about than comics is fighting martial arts stuff, so I'd like to see Disney Marvel do kung fu movies. Iron Fist is out, so it'd be cool to see them do Shang-Chi. It doesn't have to be some blockbuster type thing or even connect to a bigger picture event. Get someone like Donnie Yen or Yuan Wu Ping to do.
It would be cool.
Yeah. And it goes on. And then he wants to see Blade come back.
Yeah.
And then
it'd be awesome.
Charles,
I want to go watch those.
Charles said it's not MCU, but after seeing The Preacher, he'd love to see Transmetropolitan as a show on Netflix.
That is a great book. That is a great book.
And then there's more talk from Francisco if they acquired X-Men and Fantastic Four. It'd be pretty dope to see him build another 10 years towards Secret Wars.
Secret Wars would be amazing. I think that would be the only thing that could compete up with Infinity Wars in terms of scope.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, and then
they need something.
Another Jeremy, a Jeremy that I work with, he was thinking that they could have more small cameos, kind of like Stan Lee cameos in the Marvel movies. He said, imagine watching Infinity War when Doctor Strange and Tony Stark go run out of a building. The city is in disarray. Stuff flying all over the place, and suddenly you see Deadpool walking past saying, nope, not going to do that. You're up, boys.
Nice.
Yeah.
So that runs out.
My answer is the Fantastic Four.
I want
them in the MCU.
Fantastic
Are they
Four.
In Fox?
Yeah, they're in Fox. So I want Deadpool and the X-Men to stay with themselves and just bring the Fantastic Four over to the MCU. So I think they'd be great there. But Deadpool needs his own space.
And redo the Green Lantern.
Yeah. Man, or do Ghost Rider correct. I mean, come on.
Well, you don't want the Nick Cage Ghost Rider?
Oh, God. With a toupee.
With the toupee.
He had a hairpiece in the movie.
All right.
And then,
That's
so next week's question, since it's already been started,
Did you answer, Jeff?
What, next week's question?
No, the MCU.
I did.
What'd you say?
I said the Green Lantern.
He's DC.
I know. I'm trying to think. I think they're going to do this already, but I'd like to see. I'd like to see like the Black Widow get her own.
She is.
Yeah.
Does she?
Isn't she?
I don't know.
I don't know if it's been officially announced, but pretty much.
Because if I get a chance to see Scarlett Johansson, that's fine.
Yeah.
I think if they based it off of that book that she had last year, that shit was dope, man.
Yeah.
Sure.
Spy stuff and everything. That's awesome.
But
Right.
yeah, I think it'd be good. So next week's question, it's already been started. So if you're not, look us up on Facebook. The link is down below in the description for our Facebook group. But what are your thoughts on Deadpool 2? Please, no spoilers in the post yet. We gotta wait. And we're going to cover full spoilers at the end of the show. And good thing we're separated because there might be a fight breaking out. So that leads us to our YouTube community.
Yeah, YouTube community. So,
sweet. Thanks, everybody.
Shout outs to all the new subs.
We love you.
Check these guys out. A lot of them have great gaming channels. We got a couple non-gaming channels, but they're all active subscribers. Sub to them. They'll sub to you. Check them out. I got Games X Games. Mrs. Deadly Plants.
Pants.
Pants.
Yeah. Deadly Pants.
Deadly Pants. I was reading plants the whole time. King Zombie 23, Nightwalker Games, and Mr. Murder.
And I got Ninja Gaming OD. Special shout out to Mike Cooley, guy I work with, living in Denver. Thanks for subbing for us.
Nice.
Infamous Infranape and Mecha Baron and Marijuana Game.
I didn't even get that.
In non-nerd content, we have One London Witness and Tippy's Thoughts. Tippy's YouTube tips.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I think it's pretty obvious who our name of the week is.
Marijuana
Game. Yeah, you got a platinum.
You got it. Ooh, that was not even
name of the week.
That was a no-brainer. That was so smooth transition. Name of the week.
If you get a response like that out of me, that's it. Yep. That's it.
And if you look at it, you don't really tie it together until you say it.
I put these in the document. I did not realize that when I put that there. And then until you read it. That's great.
So congratulations, Marijuana Game. Also, I want to thank everyone that jumped on the stream tonight. Every weekend, every Sunday night, we stream live on PlayStation.
Good job, Corey.
And Corey did it for this week, so I want to say huge shout out to Zion KH352. Muchos gracias to Pony Power, coming all the way from Mexico.
Nice.
The Retired Saints crew stopped by, bombarded us, and raided. So, Retired Saints Gaming, the wife of Retired Saint, and then you had Baka 2101, Bacalus, and Power of Loki Gaming, and as always,
the King.
Captain Emo.
King
Supreme Commander Emo.
Yep.
And I think I missed one other person, but I don't remember. No, I didn't. Okay. I was doing double duty, and I was trying to translate between Spanish and English and respond, and it was interesting.
Yeah.
Sweet.
I
think that concludes our...
It does. So check us out online for our show updates and recaps along with our writings, ramblings, and products. Stuff that we produce throughout the year at patreon.com/GCandC.
Find us on Twitter at GCandC.
And always just thank you to Fred Thomas for opening music and Xee Reiter for our kick-ass logo.
Well,
And stay tuned. If you want to, stop now. Don't go any further because next up is going to be spoilers on Deadpool 2.
Deadpool 2.
And our next comic book club is going to be Comically Gaming 107, where we cover Gideon Falls number 3.
I love it.
So,
well,
Personally,
peace, love, and chicken grease.
yeah.
Cool. See y'all later.
See us. All right, everybody. This is the moment you have been waiting for. We are going to do full spoilers on Deadpool 2. And I can't say it because all I can think of is chimichangas. But yes, full spoilers, Deadpool 2. And go. And we actually have Nate. So
what's up? I'm back.
Yeah.
I begged them to, if it comes out a little bit late, it's my fault because I begged Jeff to let me be a part of this conversation and record this a night later. But yeah, I know just from the little bit, we didn't go crazy online because I didn't want to get into spoilers and stuff, but seems like me and Corey love it. Jeff, not so much? Like, what's your
not so
level
much. It's because I look at it as, I think what killed it is I didn't like the villain in this. I think it'd be better.
Fist?
Yeah, I did not
It's
like
the coolest villain ever.
No, dude, no. I didn't like.
He's got the fists fire.
I didn't like the kid's attitude.
You just don't like obese people.
Nope, it's not a fat shaming thing because I'm right there in that boat. But no, it's just, I felt like his character was really weak, and I couldn't get emotionally attached and feel like that he deserved to be redeemed by Deadpool at the end. I just didn't, because it didn't set up the premise enough of, even though, you know, Cable tells a story of how he kills that pedophile guy, and then that just sets a chain reaction, a chain of events where he becomes this monstrous murderer and kills his wife and kid. I didn't have the emotional connection with that backstory of that character, and I didn't like it. I liked it better if they had kept Cable as the bad guy, but I know that's not true.
Right. Well, I think you're crazy. Like, I can see to some degree what you're talking about with that kid, possibility of that kid being annoying. But I loved this movie. I thought it was so great. I was telling Corey, like, this is the first movie for me since Rogue One where in the middle of the movie, I was like, damn, this is an incredible experience that I'm a part of right now. Like, it seemed there's a lot of kind of jokes that missed, and I didn't like the kind of cheesiness of the story with him and his wife and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But at the point when Domino did the big scene that she has, and Deadpool and Cable are fighting in the back of the truck at the same time.
Right before that.
Yeah, X-Force, all of the X-Force
so
gets slaughtered,
awesome.
and then the Juggernaut crawls out of the thing, and he looks like the Juggernaut for the first time ever on movies.
Yeah.
And then to watch Colossus fight the Juggernaut. Colossus was my boy back in the day, and to see him fight the Juggernaut was just incredible. I thought, like, it was just like. I can't disagree with what you're saying, but that didn't bug me at all. Once it started going, I was so down.
Totally. I don't think Jeff is wrong at all. I agree with that. I was just joking about Fire Fist. He's obviously not the coolest villain of all time, but I just didn't give a shit. I just loved, you know, like you said. I mean, and not from smiling at jokes. I was just smiling the whole movie because I was like, holy shit, this is so awesome. I just had this feeling of like joy and like, this is the coolest shit I have seen in a superhero movie possibly ever. Like, this is so fucking awesome. Like, and just, yeah, I mean, the team was awesome. Domino's luck powers were awesome. The battles were awesome. The jokes were hilarious. The after credits was probably the best after credits of all time in any movie. It's just
and the shooting action too was so fucking good. Like I can only think of a couple movies that I think even hold a candle to that with the gunplay action scenes that they had going on.
I like the action sequences. There was a lot of things I really did like, but then there was some glaring things that really took away from it. I don't mind in a comedic film if you break the fourth wall and talk to the audience, but I felt like it was done too many times.
But Deadpool does that in the comics. In the video games, he hits you with the health bar. Like Deadpool breaks the third wall. That's part of his thing. So it's the fourth.
And it's fine, but there was just little things that really just ruined it for me when he kept, he mentioned the bad writing or light writing, weak writing for the script, and once or twice was fine, but it just, I started noticing a lot more, and I thought some of the humor was trite. I didn't like T.J. Miller, and that really killed it for me too. Who's
T.J. Miller?
He was the one that plays Deadpool's friend at the bar, the bartender. And he's always trying to think of, these elaborate ways to explain what Deadpool looks like, and in comparison what people look like. And I think that it was too drawn out. That was too drawn out for me because I love Baby Legs Deadpool. That was great.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of that guy in the bar either, but people love him. I mean, you're in the theaters, people always are cracking up at that guy. And he did the same thing in the first movie. It's just kind of his thing.
His timing was better in the first movie. And there was more subtlety in the way they delivered the comedy and their timing. There was more subtle, and I like that more subtle. And I didn't like being told what they were paying homage to when he did the Basic Instinct leg rollover. I mean, he did great. He did great trying to get Colossus, and he had the picture of the boombox on his iPhone, which is a scene from Say Anything, which is a John Cusack movie. And I liked a lot of the little pieces of it, but I think the story really killed it for me. I need a good story to get me engaged and feel emotionally attached to the characters.
See, I honestly just feel like you're nitpicking it. I feel like, to me, like this movie, movie,
it's all nitpicky stuff. Everything else was so great that stuff doesn't matter.
I don't disagree. I don't disagree with anything that you're saying, but I just feel like that's, to me, I compare Deadpool to a comedy, not to anything else that's going on. And I think of like all the comedies that I really love in life, and they all had stupid stories that were just a vehicle for them to tell good jokes, and that's what this movie was, and it was great at it. And you mix in the action on top, and mix in all of the X-Men stuff. Like, this felt so much more like an X-Men movie than the first one.
X-Men and
and to the point where, like, this made me think I don't want the Disney Fox deal to happen because it was so good, and Disney would never allow what happened here.
Can't do Deadpool.
100%.
I
was surprised that Stan Lee was not in the movie physically.
Yeah, he was.
No, not physically. His image was in there because
what do you mean?
You see the mural of him on a building when Domino's parachuting in.
No, he drove some bus or something.
No, he wasn't in it. No,
yes, he was.
No, he was not. He was not in it.
He was. You can Google it. He drove a bus.
Yeah, he was the bus driver.
I'll have to watch it again because I was looking hard, dude.
He was definitely in it.
I was looking hard.
You just missed him.
I think my favorite part of the after credits was when he's traveling back in time, and you see Ryan Reynolds like, this is gonna be the greatest day of my career, and the Green Lantern script, and he shoots him in the back of the head. I actually clapped in the theater. I don't clap at movies very much, but I was clapping, and I was like, "Yep, that's awesome."
Yeah, that was hilarious.
Yeah, and I just the only other thing is that I just feel like this movie was I don't know, to me it quite possibly was. I put it up there as this, and I still haven't decided, but might be the best like superhero movie of all time, because like, you know, it's cool like when movies do a comedic like send up of something like this, the way that this movie is sending up superhero movies, they're usually not like, for example, Spaceballs, one of the greatest send ups of all time.
That
right?
that's up there, yeah.
Right, and it's, but it wouldn't be a good Star Wars movie. Like,
No.
this sends up superhero movies and is a great fucking superhero movie at the same time. And just, he nailed that character so well again. Like, I you know, again, I don't disagree with anything you said, Jeff, but I feel like I give it like a 9, and I still have to think about like where it goes like in the best superhero movies of all time, because it's right up there, but it's so different. You can't really judge them the same. It's tough, you know.
You can, yeah. And I gave it an 8.2.
So you liked it?
I did like it.
Right.
It was okay. It wasn't a great movie. It was a good comedy movie. But, you know, my comparison for one of the greatest comedic movies of all time is probably Blazing Saddles.
That's my favorite.
I love
It's my favorite
movie,
too.
And it's just,
I
it's hard
I feel
to
like it was up there with that. I feel like this is right up there with that. With the amount of times that I was laugh out loud, like really thought that the jokes were funny, is equal to Blazing Saddles as I sat down and think about it.
I would have to watch it again with the different lens. But overall, I mean, it was just, I think I was expecting a great story along those lines that the first Deadpool movie had. Because I really loved this. I loved it. And it was new and refreshing. I love the first Deadpool movie.
What was, I mean...
I don't remember the story of...
Yeah, just them trying to hurt his girlfriend, right?
The first one was more of his origin story, but it was so fresh that you'd never really seen it in a superhero movie before. It really set the mark on what a comedic superhero movie could be.
It's funny. Well, I'm glad we have such different opinions, because that's a wide ranging thing. But ultimately, 8 dot whatever, you think it's a good movie. It wasn't like, you're not with me and Corey where we're both like, man, this is probably the best ever.
No,
like
I would.
It's funny.
Well, I give it a 9.2.
9.2. Yeah, I'm at 9.
And I'd say I just gotta go with the feels. If a movie gives me that type of feels, it's in the 9s, and it's one that the feels I got from that movie were in the top 10 of all movies I've ever seen in my life. I just felt watching Domino's Powers, watching the team get together, watching the battles, the laughter. I mean, I just had such a great feeling the whole time I was watching the movie, unlike any other superhero movie I've probably ever seen. Like it just for that, like, I didn't care that the story wasn't great and that certain things like that. I just had such a great feeling watching it. Everything was so cool watching, how they just everything unfold and his jokes and watching him get the team together and then have them all die, and like it's just everything. It was just like surprising and funny and action packed, and their powers were so awesome. And it was just like I haven't felt like that watching a movie in the theater in a long time.
And he finally got Hugh Jackman.
Up there.
He finally got Wolverine.
Yeah.
It's funny. Yeah, that part, when you think about like 3 months ago, they did the trailer where they showed the team walking out of the airplane. Yeah. And like the whole world, like there's articles all over the place, like dissecting, like what members of the team these all are, blah, blah, blah.
Or who's the invisible person. They're clearly leaving someone out of the movie that they're not telling us about yet. Because you can see this vest here with no one in it.
Oh, right.
They all just jump out and get slaughtered. It is so funny.
That was good. Yeah. That was a good turn of events. Yeah. And I liked that they got that brief shot of the X-Men in Xavier's office. Yeah. And they just sort of shut the door real slow, like, and he's sitting there doing wheelies in Professor X's wheelchair, and Cerebrum smelled like Patrick Stewart.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I think also just the one other thing that we'd be remiss if we didn't talk about is I feel like the way that this movie deals with like the racism and the gender stuff in it, I thought was perfect. Like it felt modern, you know what I mean, and just like the way that they kind of discuss that stuff, and again in an X-Men movie, was just really cool, you know.
Yep.
For sure.
Yeah, they did that. Yeah, they did a good job.
It's tasteful, for sure.
It was tasteful
right, well,
for a Deadpool movie.
Thanks for letting me join the conversation, guys.
For sure.
Yeah. Check out this new shirt. Darling in the front.
Nice. Check out this new shirt.
Yeah.
I got one of those too. Wear that for the next show.
Yeah, we're all wearing for the next show.
So it's this Comically Gaming 105?
So this is, Comically Gaming 105.
Thanks.
And, I can't think of anything else to plug except for Gideon Falls number 3 is going to be in our next comic book club,
so read
107. So read it because it's awesome. And y'all be cool.
Later.